Hi everyone! Today we are going to talk about prefixes. What is a prefix? A prefix is a group of letters added to the beginning of a word to change its meaning. Here's an example. This is the word read. Read is a root word. That means it has most of its meaning within itself. We can change this root word so that the meaning is just slightly different. We can add some letters to the beginning, or a prefix, and that will change the meaning just slightly. The prefix we added is re. The root of the word is still the same, read, and that carries most of the meaning. But now with this prefix, the meaning has changed just a little bit. It's important to know the meaning of prefixes, and that way you'll know how the root has changed. The prefix re means again. So, if we add re to read, the new word means read again. Reread, read again. There are some very common prefixes that you might find regularly. Let's take a look at some of them. We just looked at the prefix re, which, when added to the root of a word or a root word, means again. Another common prefix, dis. If you see dis in front of a root word, it means not. There are actually many prefixes that have the meaning not. Let's write all of them. Un is another prefix that means not. Another prefix that also means not non. So far we have 3 different prefixes that all have the same meaning. That means if you see any of these prefixes added to a root word, they make the meaning different in that it now has not as a part of the meaning. There's another one too that also means not. If you ever see im, that also means not. 4 different ways of adding the meaning not to a root word. Another common prefix, pre. Pre means before. Before we erase the board, let's take a look at the prefixes we've learned so far. The prefix re means again. The prefixes dis, un, non, and im all mean not. The prefix pre means before. Wait a second, the word prefix has the prefix pre. There's one more we want to mention. Let's put it in at the top here. The prefix miss means wrong. Please note that this is not the same miss as when you're recording a woman's name. Now we're going to look at a few different examples of words that have these prefixes in them. We already looked at the word reread, and we know that the prefix re means again. So if you're told to reread something, it means read it again. Can you think of any other words that have the prefix re? You might have heard of this one before. Redo. Redo means do something again. Remember, re means again. Here's another common one you might have heard. This is the word retry. Try something again. Retry. Be on the lookout for the prefix re as you're exploring books. Let's look at the prefixes that all have the same meaning, not. Here's an example. We know that one of the prefixes meaning not is dis. I'm changing colors so you can see the root word. Remember, the root has the majority of the meaning. The prefix just changes it slightly. This is the word disagree. The prefix not means don't or not agree. I disagree with you. I don't agree. Basically, it's the opposite. Dis means not. Another prefix that means not is un. This is the word unhappy. The prefix really changes the meaning in this case. The root word is happy, but by adding the prefix un, now the meaning has changed. Not happy. The next prefix we use, which means not, is non. This is the word non-fiction, which will sometimes have a dash in between. Non means not. If we take away the prefix, fiction means make-believe, fairy tale, fantasy. But if you add the non in front of it, it means not fiction. This prefix changes the meaning quite a bit. Let's see, there was one more prefix we used that also meant not. Can you remember what it is? We'll try and fit it in right up top here. It was the prefix im. This is the word impossible. If you take away the prefix, it says possible. But with the prefix, it makes it the opposite. Impossible, not possible. Im, dis, un, non all have the same meaning, not. When they're added to the beginning of a word, they typically imply the opposite. Let's take a look at the prefix pre. The prefix pre means before. Let's make a word with the prefix pre. This is the word preview. View means to see, watch, or look. Pre means before. An example is, sometimes when you go to the movie theater, they will show you previews for other movies that are coming up around the corner. Preview is a little bit like a sneak peek. You're getting to look at it just a little bit before you watch the entire thing. Preview. Watch before. This is the word prehistoric. Historic refers to things that have happened in the past, over the course of history, when people have been around to explain what has happened through writing or passing along stories and information. But before any history was recorded, that is called prehistoric. So for example, some people might refer to times when dinosaurs roamed the earth as prehistoric times. It was a time before human history was recorded and written down. Pre means before. Let's look at the prefix miss, which means wrong. And remember, this is different than when you're writing a female's name. Let's do the word misspell. We know spell means to write words down or spell them out loud. Say the letters so that you can explain the word that you're trying to use. And if you have misspell, it means you're spelling the word wrong. Do you notice how sometimes by adding a prefix to the word, you end up reading it in reverse if you're explaining the meaning? Be aware of that. I'll write the prefixes we reviewed one more time on the board. See if you can test yourself to remember the meaning of each. These are the prefixes we took a look at today. Re, dis, un, non, im, pre, and miss. Can you remember the meaning of each? Re means again. Dis, un, non, and im mean not. Pre means before. Miss means wrong. Be on the lookout for prefixes everywhere.